Folks, before we get into this video, I need to explain why I'm sitting here now. Over the winter, I've been working. The days have been short and I haven't got much done. I saved up money and I bought a wireless mic. This is it here. I bought it with the idea of bettering the sound quality for you guys at home. The first time I used it was in this shipping container. And of course, like now, there's been no practicing, just jumped in at the deep end and got stuck into it. Made a film. I reckoned it was going to be the best video so far. Went to the editing process. On the laptop, no volume. All picture, no sound. Bit like the wife and all day. Now, what I had to do was cut it back, and what the process now is I'm going to watch the video on the laptop, in the field, on the laptop, and I'm going to talk through what I did. Right, here we go. The horse chestnut tree that you seen in an earlier video, I didn't get it finished. I planted it and got it all squared up. I put sawdust around it, and I left around the base of the tree a low spot so to make it look pretty. I've got the gate fitted finally with the bolts that was required. And it works. Right, we're working at the container today. I've got myself a new cordless dewalt grinder, and I'm going to use it to sand around the lockbox. This is the lockbox. The lockbox goes on the front of the container. It'll make it harder for someone to break into. Now the lockbox has 5mm plate in the back of it. You see that rubber seam? That rubber seam sits proud about 10mm, so I have to sand part of it down to be able to make the lockbox fit snug. Now I'm cutting part of the rubber off to help make it sit more neat. Grind a bit more off it. Boom, she fits. I'm going to pull out the inverter welder here. This generator I got off a friend Connell, P&R early. Put a wee bit of red oxide primer on the bare metal. Actually painting the back of the lockbox too. Before we weld, we're going to cut off these hinges and raise them up, save the back. Using the old trusty hammer. I got this hammer off Adam. Adam's the guy that helped me do the fencing. I have a hammer, just can't find it anywhere. So I've got the inverter welder out, and I'm telling you that this is it's been a while from I've used this welder, so there might be a few bird poops on it, but we're going to give it a go anyway. Ooh, what's the matter? Check the generator. Check the welder. Ooh. Confused. See that look? Confused.com. Give it another go. This isn't going to work. The welder keeps cutting out on me. Right, so I'm abandoning that idea. Now that putty looks like something that you'd get from underneath a high school table. Now my arms aren't long enough to be able to reach these nuts, so I'm trying to get it off, but it's not working. Grinder's the ticket. Colin gave me a 9-inch grinder when I was picking up that generator. Get the other one cut off. Karate chop. Watch out for dead wood. This bracket that locks the container in, it has to be able to pivot, so it's going to have to be bolted back on, which isn't any big, it's no biggie, but it just have to remember not to weld it. The welder's not working. I've went and got myself a hot air gun, and I'm going to try and take off some of these stickers. but these stickers here are already all worn and stripping the paint off, so I'm going to leave that for a different move. This I'm not too optimistic with this, because if you look at it, it's full of cracks and scratches. It would take forever to get it off. So abandon that idea. I'm going to use this sanding disc, which will make it a bit quicker. Wee bit of a time lapse. And now, here we are. Done. I'll take you for a walk around and let you see it. There's about 12 hours against it going around with sanding. Look, it's not 12 hours actually sanding. There's 12 sanding discs on it. There's 12 sanding discs on it. It's probably about 8 hours of actually working on it. 12 hours of getting motivated and getting all camera set up and blah blah blah. If you notice, I haven't painted it, but look at this. That's only rain rust. It's only a stain. I'll take a sanding disc. I've already got 6-inch or 150mm 120 grit sand discs, and while I have the generator again, I'll go around and take off all these edges, soften them so that whenever you repaint it, it'll not show up as much. Look, I'm trying not to show you this because we've actually another video done. I'll give you a quick snap. We've had a bit of work done yesterday actually. Spring's coming. These has to be cut before the end of February. So it had to be cut this weekend. So digger's still on site because the plan was to move that container into here, but you'll have to watch the video to find out why that didn't happen. Folks, this video wouldn't have been possible today without Stephen Reid from Grafters Media. He's based in Northern Ireland. He's also a YouTuber. That's how I know about him. I rang him up. I asked him, told him the problem I had with the new setup, and asked him could he help. I went down to his digs, and he showed me his studio, his office, not his digs. I work from the comfort of my own sofa. He has his proper setup. This is business. Anyway, I went to his studio. He helped me diagnose the problem through working with different components, swapping them about. We found out which one was working. It turned out it was a media mod from GoPro that was faulty, and he was kind enough to lend me one of his until I get mine replaced. Thanks, Stephen. Bit of a voiceover. It's either scrap the whole video or do that. So I didn't want to scrap it because it is a pretty important, it's an important factor of the build. It's the base for which all this other stuff's going to happen. It's all starting to happen again. The days are growing longer, and that's allowing me time to get up here. There's a lot of work happening. You see the round is ready done. Trevor's coming up. I've Trevor booked to come up with the digger. I've apple trees ordered. We're going to plant them. There's loads of things going to happen. I've chicken coops to make for meat boards. Can't even think of it on the spot. But stay tuned. I'll catch you in the next one.